everything that you feel. Done everything that you
So, alright, gang, y'all know who it is, man. It's Drop once again. We're in the building. Like always, before I get these videos started, I want to give a big shout out to my people that has been rocking, donating, to support me on this journey from day one. Love y'all. To the new people in the building, gang, like, comment, subscribe, share. Everything else should be in the description below. I hear a lot of y'all ask me, like, yo, Drop, how do we get in contact with you? Outside of leaving everything in the comment section, this is why I'm clearly telling y'all now. Everything else should be in the description below. Only thing you got to do is hit the description, stroll down a little bit and read, gang. Everything is down there. Now check it out. I'm not trying to hold y'all. You know, I'm never trying to hold y'all, but I do have a spill this morning. Y'all know I usually go out Saturday night, come back in and try to tell a story. Don't really have a story this morning. What I do have is a question. What is going on with black people and us really not believing that slavery was a thing anymore? Like, is this a trend? Is this something we going through? Is it lack of education, lack of black history? What's going on? Because I clearly overheard, you know how Drop is, bro. I be listening, but I don't be listening, but I really be listening. I overheard a conversation last night where this young lady told her friend that the reason black people can't get off the rip is because we still believe in slavery. What y'all trying to do? Turn this shit into a Mandela effect? If y'all don't know what the Mandela effect is, go do your Googles. Google Mandela effect. Y'all trying to make this shit to the point that in the next 30 years, slavery is not even, some people gonna think it used to be a thing, but we don't have no proof and evidence that it was. So what are y'all trying to do? Like, wash all our history away? And then for the black people, I can understand white people trying to do it, bro. But for black people, bro, you're knocking where you're coming from. Yeah, granted, bro, all of us didn't come from Africa. No matter what y'all feel, no matter how y'all feel about that situation, bro, a lot of us was already here on this soil. You understand what I'm saying? I said all this to say this. I'm one of the very few that, through the grace of God, bro, I had grandfathers and grandmothers that used to tell me stories of their parents going through the struggles of how the white man used to pull them out of the cribs and all that. Not my grandmother, but her mother and father, my grandfather's mother and father. You understand what I'm saying? And let me tell you a little story that happened to me as a child, bro. I'm about 8. You know one thing about it. I'm 8 years old. I remember my mother brought us down south to visit my grandmother and grandfather one summer. Me, my brothers and sisters. I know this shit is foggy because I was a jit back then, bro. I was knee-high to a grasshopper. But I do remember my grandfather must have had some kind of credit at the local store that was in the neighborhood, whatever the case may be. Evidently, my grandfather could not pay the store the money he owed him for that week, or however that shit was set up. I remember, now this was probably 48 years ago, gang, probably 45 years ago. This was 45 years ago, so it's touch and go. But I remember the white man come knocking on the door. My grandfather going to the door. He comes back down the hallway, tell all the kids, y'all go in the room. He telling us, and this is no exaggeration, gang, he told us, get under the bed and in the closet, don't come out for nobody. You know, being young, you're not making sense of this shit, bro. I'm 5, 6 years old. I don't really know what's taking place. This is why the story is so touch and go. But I do remember, he making us go in the bedroom. My grandmother and all that was up the hall, but they made all the kids go down the hall in the room, go under the bed and in the closet. True story being told. I don't remember the conversation that was said, but I remember eventually us coming out of the room, sitting in the living room, my grandfather telling my grandmother what was going on. This is why I slightly remember with some credit shit. He owed the white man some money. Long story short, nighttime come. Now, this was before we had too much entertainment. So all the kids was sitting around in the middle of the floor in the living room. The adults was sitting on the couch and all that shit and sitting around talking. Next thing you know, one of my uncles, which was my mother's brothers, come in and he was like, yo, I don't know, it's a bunch of men on, and this is no exaggeration, gang. It's a bunch of men on horses coming down the path. My uncle was already outside. Once again, my grandfather puts everybody in the bedroom. I go up under the bed. Me and my sister went up under the bed. My two brothers went in the closet, whatever the case may be. Now, during this time, I do remember the white man. I never, believe it or not, gang, I never even saw the face of none of these people. Never. You understand what I'm saying? The only thing I remember was voices. I clearly remember the man telling my grandfather, this is my last time coming to see you about my money. And my uncle on this humble, with Mr. So-and-so, I'm going to try to pay you as soon as I can, money. And the white man wasn't trying to hear none of that. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. So eventually, him and his buddies got back on their horse, rode off. This is a true story, gang. Lo and behold, I did leave this out. One thing my grandfather did have, my grandfather had two horses. Two horses my grandfather had. Do you know the very next morning we wake up, one of my grandfather horses was gone and the other horse was dead, respectfully. Now, me being a jit, I don't know if it was proven that the owner of that store was the ones that stole my grandfather's horse and killed the other one. I don't know. I don't know if my grandfather ever retrieved his horse or whatever the case may be, because eventually we ended up going back up north. You understand what I'm saying? But this was a true story. It was to the point that these people could come and destroy your animals in the yard. And this wasn't the first time. I used to hear my grandmother say a white lady next door used to come steal and kill her chickens. And you understand what I'm saying? She didn't really live next door. I think this white lady lived like down the street or something, like a couple of streets down and shit. But I know for a fact my grandmother used to say this white lady used to come steal her chickens. Now, if it was a true story, I don't know. But I said all this to say this, gang. Slavery was a real thing. My grandmother used to tell me how the white man used to come get her mother out of the house and drag her father out of the house. Bro, don't let these people turn this shit into a Mandela effect. Slavery was a real thing, and it bothers me to hear people, especially black people, try to say it wasn't. Yeah, black people was already here in America too. Let's not get it fucked up. They have rerouted this black history shit so much that is to the point, what can you believe and what can and cannot you believe? But what you can believe is that slavery was a real thing. It may not have been as submissive as they tried to make that shit look, because I really think a lot of us fought the hell back. You understand what I'm saying? But on foreign land to most, the ones that they did bring from Africa, which was foreign land to them, they didn't have too much of a fighting chance. And COINTELPRO has always been a thing, bro. We have always had inside Negroes to take down inside Negroes from day one. So that had a lot to do with us being totally captured and all that shit to us, because we had a lot of inside help. We had people that was our own kind that was helping them out to end up for them to be put in the same situation we in. Which is crazy, gang. I wasn't trying to hold y'all. What I do want to tell y'all is, don't let these white people rock our history to sleep. Slavery was a thing. Slavery is still a thing. We are still slaves. Minus the shackles, bro. Long as your black ass is punching a clock in the morning, you a slave. Long as you paying all these taxes and things that you never benefit nothing from, you still a slave. I mean, but like always, yo, I wasn't trying to hold y'all. It's Sunday morning. I need to get a little bit of rest. It's drop. Like always, I love y'all, gang. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't hurt nobody. Don't let nobody hurt y'all. But also stay dangerous under the same breath. And I'm out. Peace.